So now, we're not just dealing with mistakes anymore. We're dealing with a story that keeps changing names, changing details, and somehow still expects to be believed. Because apparently, in this version of events, you can say one name, another name gets typed, and somehow that's just normal. No problem, no alarm, no consequences. Just a mistake. Ah, of course. But this time, Mnisi wasn't just questioning it. He started tearing it apart, piece by piece. And what comes out of that typed statement? Yeah, it doesn't look like the truth anymore. Let's go deeper, because this is where it gets even more dangerous.
Further on, you went on to tell her, and now we know it's a lady, because we've just confirmed it with the court. Then you say, I stood up and followed them. As I was suspicious of the manner in which they entered the house, I could see there was something wrong. I found Gwabeni in the bedroom.
Ngase ngibalandela ke ngabona ukuthi kukhona okusolisayo ngendlela abangena ngayo ngase ngithola ke uGwabeni ekamereni.
The lady is busy typing.
Uyatypa ke usisi lona.
As I was approaching the bedroom, I could hear Gwabeni saying, there comes Babomncane, and someone switched off the light. The lady is busy typing.
Ngase uma ngisondela ke ngazwa uGwabeni ethi nangi Babomncane eza kwase kucishwa ke yona ke ilight. Uyatypa ke usisi.
Then you proceed. You say, I saw Muzi giving Gwabeni a 38 special firearm and Nkani giving Gwabeni a 9mm firearm.
Ngase ngibona ke uMuzi enikeza uGwabeni i38 special, uNkani emnikeza yena ke i9mm.
And the lady is typing.
Uyabhala usisi.
Again, why would it be so that when you say to this lady, I saw Gadla handing over a 9mm to the firearm, the lady would write Nkani?
Njoba ngishilta ngazi ukuthi kwenzeke kanjani ngeke ngikhulumele wayitype.
As I already said, I don't know how it happened. I can't speak on behalf of the one that was typing.
Thank you. Now you proceed with your narrative in verse, your story. Then you say to the lady, I then asked them, why are they having firearms on their hands? And asked them where they are coming from. The lady proceeds to type.
Ngase ngibabuza ukuthi ibhamu lezi kungani bephethe ibhamu ezandleni zabo futhi bayithola kuphi. Uyaqhubeka uyatypa usisi.
No one responded.
Yes, indeed, no one responded.
Yeah, that we know because it's in the statement. But what I'm saying is, you are saying now, as you proceeding with the story, no one responded, and the lady says, or this witness is saying to me, no one responded. Let me type exactly what this witness is telling me. Exactly. Then you then proceed to say, I then took the 38 special firearm from Gwabeni's hand and looked at it. The lady continues to type.
Uyaqhubeka ke wase ustart isibhamu esandleni sakho uGwabeni wasibheka uyaqhubeka ke usisi uyatypa.
Not so.
Angithi.
Yeah, ngabe sengisithatha vele isibhamu kuye ngasibona.
Yes, indeed, I took the firearm from him and looked at it.
Then you proceed to narrate your story. I then asked Gwabeni if it was not the same firearm which he had said he threw away in the river after shooting Sinako with it. He said it was not the same firearm.
Ngase ngimbuza kuGwabeni ukuthi akusona yini lesi uthi wasilahla ke wasilahla emfuleni futhi wadubula ngaso uSinako wathi cha akusona.
And then the lady is typing. And then you saying, but the firearm belongs to Nkani. I think that is what was Gwabeni said. Then the lady types that.
Wabusithi ke sikaNkani iloko wakusho ke wabuya type usisi lokho.
As you proceed with your story, you say, I then give him back the firearm. I take it, you took it back to Gwabeni.
Wase usidlulisela noma usibuyisela kuyena futhi uGwabeni.
And as you proceed, you say, I asked that Gwabeni give me my firearm. He reached for my bag and gave it to me. I took it, checked it, removed the magazine and counted my bullets and found that they were still the same as I have left them. I was checking if they did not take my firearm and use it somewhere. The lady is typing.
Ngase ngicela uGwabeni ukuthi anginikeze sami walethi isikhwama wanginikeza ngasibheka ngabheka imagazini ngabheka ukuthi inhlamvu zami saphelele yini ukubona ke ngathola ukuthi ke kusaphelele ukuthola ukuthi abasithathanga yini bayosebenzisa kwenye indawo usaqhubeka uyatype.
You proceed with your story. I also smelt it, but I could not pick up anything. I was concerned if they took my firearm and said it and used it to kill people, because I acknowledge that they are inkabi, in brackets, hitmen.
Uthi ngasinuka ke ngoba ke ngangi sokhona kwakungihlupha ukuthi mhlawumbe basithatha ke noma basebenzisa ukuthi babulala abantu ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi bayinkabi.
I was shouting, you proceed, the lady is typing. I was shouting and told them if they had done something, it shall be revealed one day. I put my firearm on my body. My figure walked out of the bedroom.
Nga bakhulumisa ke noma ngabathethisa ke ngathi ke uma ukuthi khona ke abakwenza ngazo kusezo vezwa ke ngelinye ilanga wase ephuma ke uma fika ekamereni.
Now you continue to state your story. And the lady is typing. Mthokoziseni Mapisa and Carlo Mthobisi Mncube walked into the bedroom and sat on the bed.
Ke kwasengena ke uMthokoziseni Mapisa kanye naye ke uCarlos Mthobisi Mncube bahlala phezulu kombhede.
Gwabeni asked me to give them a space as he wanted to discuss something with the guys.
Wabese ngicela ke uGwabeni ukuthi angiphumeke ngoba ke khona udaba befuna office ukuthi balidingide
Thank
kanye
you.
nabo.
Mthokoziseni Mapisa and Carlos Mthobisi Mncube walked into the bedroom and sat on the bed.
Ufuna ngiphendule noma ngilalele kuphela?
Should I just listen or do you want me to respond?
This is my question.
Oh.
My question is, you are saying to this typist, Mthokoziseni Mapisa and Gadla walked into the bedroom and sat on the bed, not so?
Uthi ke kwangena ke uMthokoziseni Mapisa kanye naye ke uGadla Carlos Mncube bahlala embedeni.
Isami statement lapho sithi kwangena unkani ehamba no accused number 4.
My statement-
Already accused number 1 2 3 babe khona. So lapha ku statement ngoba ungibuyisela lapho ubona leligama elithi Carlos. Yabona?
My statement now with regards to that says it was number 5 who came in walking together with accused number 4. Accused number 1, 2 and 3 were already inside.
Yes. Now, what you are saying now, the statement should have read, according to the story that you're narrating on that day, should have read as follows. Mthokoziseni Mapisa and Nkani walked into the bedroom and sat on the bed, not so?
Uthi bekufanele ukuthi sikanjalo.
Yebo.
Yes.
But again, for the third time, if that is what you told the lady on that day who was typing, how could it have happened that the lady now says Mthokoziseni Mapisa and Carlo Mthobisi Mncube walked into the bedroom and sat on the bed? Where did he get this word, this name, Carlo Mthobisi Mncube, from?
Uma kuukuthi ke yilokho wena ke wakutshela lo wayetype kwenzeka kanjani ke athi Mthokoziseni Mapisa kanye noCarlos walithola phi legama likaCarlos?
Ngiyakubona babumnise uyayuthanda lo mdlalo.
I see Mr. Mnisi you like this game.
Babumnise ngithi kuwe. Lamagama la ngene la. Ngoba ngilifakile ngathi uwrong uCarlos unkani ongene lapha. Nalapha futhi kuphamba namagama apho. Ayikho into eshintshile lapho. Ngiyabona ukuthi ufuna ukungisaphi kodwa ke mina ngizokuya lapho.
Okay. I see what happened here, Mr. Mnisi. It is the names that have been confused. Here where you mentioned Carlos, it's supposed to be Nkani, and also there where Nkani is supposed to be Carlos. I see where you want to take me to, but I'm not going there.
Because igama lika Carlos angaze ngilisho bengilazi ukuthi mina igama bekimbiza ngalo bengimbiza ngamakhuluma bengimbiza uGadla.
Because the name of Carlos, I didn't know that name. The name that I refer to it by is Gadla.
Thank you. That is where my concern is. You don't say to this lady that the person who is coming in with Mthokozisi Mapisa is Gadla. Instead is Nkani. But the lady that you are dictating to writes in the statement something that is totally not what you're telling her. Instead of writing Gadla, she writes Carlos Mthokozisi Ncube.
Endaweni yokuthi abhaleke ugadla lo wena umtshela ngaye ke ngoba yena akangithi manje ubhale noma endaweni yokuthi abhale lokho wena umtshela kodwa akabhali ke ugadla ubhala ke uCarlos.
Okay.
Ubhale ngasikona lokho wena okushoyo kuyena.
Ugadla mangicabanga ugadla uCarlos uyena Mthobisi.
Gadla is Carlos and that is Mthobisi.
Yeah, no, I can understand. Let me ask you, the lady who was typing here, was she privy to the investigation into the case?
Lady le noma usisi lona owayebhala lana ungaba wayenolwazi wayenalo mala nophenyo lecala leli.
Ngicabanga ukuthi angibazi abantu bebephenya ukuthi uyena muphi.
I think I didn't know.
Bengazi ukuthi uyaphenya ngazi ukuthi uKolonel Gininda, uBrigadier Gininda.
I think I didn't have the information as to who the investigating team was. The person that I knew to be investigating was a Brigadier Colonel Gininda at the time.
Thank you. But are you then aware, Mr. Kwabeni, Mr. Kwabeni Zungu, that contrary to what you have told, isn't that you told me, Mr. Kwabeni Zungu?
Yeah, kuyikho konke inkosi.
It's all of it.
Yes.
You're not lost.
Would you then agree with me that on the basis of I've just brought to your attention what is contained in your statement, this was not a true reflection of what you were narrating to the lady? If at all, the story that we have come to tell this court has got a fragment of truth in it.
Ukuthi yavumela ukuthi lokhu okubhalwe lana ke akusikona lokhu wena ke owawukusho ke uma kuwukuthi lokhu wena ozile uzokutshela lenkantolo unalo nje iqiniso okunalo.
Iqiniso eliphindiwe lelo. Ilokuthi accused number 1 2 3 bangena belandelana. Accused number 4 and 5 bangena emuva.
That accused number 1.
Lokho kumele ukuphikise bafu.
That accused number 1, 2 and 3 came in following each other, and that accused number 4 and 5 came in afterwards. That is what you should dispute.
And you would further agree with me that in as much as you are trying so hard to give a reason on how this horrible error could have happened, you're finding yourself in a catch-22 situation.
Noma ke uzama ke ngako konke nakho ke ukuthi nje uchazeke lephutha leli elingake lenzekile lana ukuthi nje cha awukwazi uthola nje ukwisipho la khona ungakwazi ukwenza noma ukuthi uphume kusona. Uthi uyazama ke ngako konke onako ukuthi uchaze leliphutha elingake lenzekile lana kodwa nje ngeshwa ukuthi ke lokho okuzamayo ukuthi cha awuphumeleli kona.
Ngicabanga ukuthi mawuzwa bafu ngishilo ngathi accused number 1 2 3 accused number 4 5 bangena emuva so ukuthi kubhaleke igama likaGadla liphambane likankani la endaweni embili akushintshi indawo lokho engikushoyo.
I think I did say that accused number 1, 2 and 3 came in following each other. Then accused number 4 and 5 then came in afterwards. That Gadla and Kani's names were then confused or put in the wrong places. That doesn't change anything.
I want to open up an argument with you because ultimately to argue it's going to be for me as I will be standing here at the end of it all addressing the court. I only wanted to bring it to your attention that already on this document alone there's something that is being called someone being between the hard place and a rock. I don't know what place is that, but I normally hear people talking about that. But that it's going to be my duty to argue before the court.
Mnisi doesn't let go. He takes Zungu right back into his own statement. You told the typist. You saw them coming. Muzi, Mafika, Gadla. Clear, direct, no confusion. You followed them because they looked suspicious. You find Gwabeni in his bedroom. You hear him say, switch off the lights. Already, this sounds like a detailed, precise recollection. Then comes the part that should be crystal clear. You say, Muzi hands a .38 revolver. Gadla hands a 9mm pistol. Specific weapons, specific people. No room for error. But somehow, the same problem appears again. Mnisi zooms in. If you said Gadla, why does the statement say Nkani? Now pause right there. Not a spelling mistake, not a typo, a completely different accused. Again, and Zungu's answer, I don't know. I can't speak for the typist. Of course, because now, the typist has become the most powerful person in this entire story. But it doesn't stop there. It gets worse. Zungu continues narrating. I asked them why they had firearms, where they were coming from. No response. Convenient. Then he says, he takes the .38 special revolver, inspects it, and asks Gwabeni, is this not the same firearm you used to kill Sinako and threw in the river? Now hold on. A police constable hears this, connects a firearm to a murder, mentions it so casually, and does what? Nothing. No report. No escalation. No immediate action. So what exactly are we supposed to believe here? Because now we're not just dealing with wrong names. We're dealing with a story that keeps shifting, details that don't align, serious allegations treated like casual conversation, and Mnisi sees it. Clearly, calmly, but decisively, because at the end, he tells Zungu something very telling. I'm not going to argue with you now. I will argue at the end. Meaning, he's not here to fight the witness. He's building something bigger. Because when names change more than once, the typist becomes the explanation. Serious claims go unreported, and the story keeps adjusting itself. That's not consistency. That's not reliability. That's a version trying to hold itself together. And at this point, there's just so much coming out. So many contradictions. So many things that don't make sense. I won't even lie to you. I can't even go through all of it. It's too much. Every time Mnisi digs deeper, another issue comes up. Another inconsistency. Another problem. And honestly, I'm left speechless. But maybe that's the point. You've seen it for yourselves. You've heard it. You've watched it unfold, step by step. No one needs to exaggerate this. No one needs to add anything. It's all there. So now the question is not whether there are problems. The real question is, how many more are there? Are these just mistakes, or lies on top of lies? To everyone watching, whether you're a regular viewer, a subscriber, or a channel member, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to follow this case, for thinking critically, and for not just accepting everything at face value. Because what we're seeing here, it's not simple. It raises real questions, and it deserves real attention. To my subscribers, you're the reason this channel is growing. Your support, your comments, your engagement, it matters more than you think. And to my channel members, I see you, I appreciate you. Your support keeps this going and allows me to keep breaking these moments down without holding back. If you believe the truth must be questioned, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video so more people can see what's really happening. And most importantly, drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. As we wait for court to resume, stay informed, stay alert, because the truth doesn't disappear. It waits to be exposed. Until next time, I'm Skybridge. Goodbye.